And tomorrow, Todd Latwii, guest live. That just confirmed a little while ago. All right, a couple other notes to tell you about here. We'll see if Joel has anything to add, and then we'll get to Glenn and Doug. I wanted to also make mention of the fact that SUMMERFEST, which is a major week-long music festival in Milwaukee, has announced today that they didn't cancel, but they have moved the event into September. And this is a major festival. It's 11 days long. I've never been to it, but I have friends that live in Wisconsin and who have been to it. And people, of course, go to it from all over the country, all over the world, because it's like over a week-long event, and it's every genre of music. Some of the headliners booked for it this year included Guns N' Roses, Dave Matthews, and Khalid. So this event over the course of the 11 days usually pulls in around 800,000 people. Not in one day, but you know what I'm saying, over the course of the 11 days, total audience. Well, they have now pushed it to September with fingers crossed that they're going to be able to do it then. It was originally scheduled to take place, I believe, in June. So we'll see. I know the promoters are optimistic and hopeful. In a statement they released, they said that they're banking on vaccines and distribution and them being hopeful that they can pull this off if they wait and push it a few more months into September. Anyone's guess if that actually is in fact able to happen, but unlike some of the other festivals we've seen, Coachella, Stagecoach, Glastonbury in England, they have all taken their events and completely canceled them for 2021 and are with an eye towards doing it next year. This is one that said, we're not going to pull it, we're going to push it and hope we can do it in September, buying themselves a few more months. I mean, it's a difficult thing to do because you're dealing with major name artists attached to this, and you don't know what other commitments they may have and how many of them are able to move. But the flip side to that is they're all in the same boat. They can't play. I mean, they can't take other dates if there aren't other dates to be had. So it's a scheduling nightmare in one regard because you don't know if you can keep your lineup intact if you move the dates. But then again, as more and more things cancel or get pushed already for this year, it's not like you're running into them touring somewhere else. So fingers crossed, and the folks in Milwaukee who put on SUMMERFEST, optimistic that they'll be able to do SUMMERFEST this year, but it'll be late SUMMERFEST into September. We've seen the same thing happen with Rocklahoma, a festival that I host every year, which did not happen at all last year. Usually happens Memorial Weekend, and that has been pushed to Labor Day weekend. Again, the same thing. The promoter's optimistic and hopeful, but it buys them a little more time to see what happens with the pandemic, where things go, and if, instead of pulling the plug completely, it buys them maybe till like June or July to say, okay, do we pull it or do we think we're going to be able to make it happen? So some of these folks are trying, but realizing, as we've been saying consistently all through this, that if we are going to see any sort of large-scale events like this, they are all going to be back end of the year, if they indeed at all happen this year. But now you're not really seeing anything in the U.S. earlier than September. Lollapalooza, same deal. All hopeful that last quarter of this year they can pull it off. And in places like Wisconsin, if you don't get it in September and it's an outdoor event, you can't push it any more than that because it gets too cold. Once you run into, mid-October, it's too cold to do stuff outside in those parts of the country. We'll keep you posted as we go, but the good news is they didn't kill it all together. They pushed it, and we'll see if they get it in as we continue to go.